Aw, long time no see. It's been a long time.
I think the last time I saw you guys was the art show, Cypher.
The art show, see, I don't even remember where that. Oh, wait.
People wonder is he mature, got snot nose in him. I'm just a little bit stubborn, a lot more genuine.
That's bad. It was my show, and I was like, what is she doing? I'm like,
Oh, wait.
No country for small talk.
Hey, this is your host, Rashid, Amir.
And it's Empress Yibo.
You are now watching No Country for Small Talk.
And today we have someone amazing. Ooh, I like that nail color already. All right, see, she got it snapped up. We have an amazing friend of ours that we wanted to have come through.
Hi, I'm Shaquanna Williams. I've known these people for a very long time. Right now, I'm highlighting my acting, my activism, my performance art, and then I'm also grinding for the 9 to 5, so trying to fit all that together.
Yes. So we're going to unpack some of that because you just said
It's
a lot.
A whole lot of stuff in one sitting. It's like, it has been that long. It's been well over 10 years for sure.
Wow, y'all are old. I would like to say,
Right.
I mean, I'm seeing gray hairs pop up in
No, they're not popping up. You got like a whole
you got
a little patch.
What has been going on with you? Because we haven't had time to, catch up and everything. So what's up?
I know. Well, since I saw you guys, I mean, a whole lot has happened. We've all collectively been impacted by COVID-19. And I work in HR, 9 to 5 is in HR at a hospital.
Wow.
So it kind of just ramped up like crazy for me at that time. Luckily, prior to that, I'd already filmed a few things. But while the kind of surge happened because of COVID, I kind of had to drop all of that. Not only did I have to drop it, but the industry was kind of just shutting down.
Yeah.
So definitely was a lot going on with COVID. And I was starting to miss my creativity. And I felt like I was losing momentum a little bit at the time in that sense. But like I said, luckily for me, I'd already filmed some stuff, and the people I filmed with continued with post-production and shopping the material. So we actually got 2 films that I was in finished during 2020.
Wow.
2020. And they were able to shop to film festivals that normally we'd be able to go to in person, but they were virtual last year. So we had 2 or 3 viewings with a short film in 3 different film festivals, and we won some awards for that one. And then we had a feature. It was like a horror kind of feature that got picked up by the Salem Film Festival. So that was actually pretty cool too. And that kind of gave me the drive, like, okay, there's momentum again. Let me, see what's going on. And then by that time, COVID kind of slowed down at the hospital, but definitely didn't stop.
Yeah.
So
but you've been doing a lot though. I mean, even with what you're saying, I always call you like a person of all trades. I mean, because you model, right? And you do the acting, and then as well as your 9 to 5 and grinding it out. And, you mentioned awards, like, oh yeah, and then we won awards and blah, blah, blah. But you do amazing things, Shaquanna. I think that's awesome. I mean, if you don't mind talking a little bit about the film and the process. I mean, I know with the pandemic, things had to shift a little bit. I mean, I was just looking at something on Apple TV yesterday, and I appreciate, although it's sad that the pandemic happened, I don't want to make light of it at all, but I feel like it brought us back to our basis of accessibility to art, right? Because I feel like now everyone has access. People that would have never made it to the Tribeca Film Festival or Sundance or, Salem, now we could sit down and enjoy it all together. So can you speak a little bit about that?
As far as filming, I mentioned that there were 2 films that we wrapped prior to COVID. One was called Displaced. That was a feature length, a 2-hour film. And the premise of that is there is a Caucasian family that moves into an urban area, into it's like a 3-family house, and the main character feels like there's something not right with this family. So I'm gonna kind of leave it there because that's like where the story goes. And it was the writer is actually a white man. I met him in one of my scene study classes. Actually, we took class together at a school called William Esper Studio. And I guess he liked my work in class, and he asked me to audition for the film, and I did. And then I play like the love interest of the main character in the movie. He was telling me a little bit about the movie, the reason why he wrote it. It was actually a submission for a contest, and the contest was looking for scripts that highlight social justice topics. And the topic he chose actually was gentrification. So I like the premise. The movie was really cool. It was fun. He played one of the man of the couple, the white couple that moved in. They were really creepy. It was fun to work with them, but that was pretty awesome. So that one was the one that got picked up by the Salem Film Festival in Salem, Massachusetts. And then the other film I worked on was a short. That one was done by a team called Creative Tribe. I got a notice for it and I auditioned for it. I actually was the last person to audition. And they didn't even really have me come into an audition because they were already starting table reads. So he told me that he wanted me to play a role that was kind of heavy. It didn't have a lot of scenes, but it was very pivotal to the story. So I read the script and I went in for the table read, and he said that the table read would serve as my audition. So I went in for the table read and he was like, all right, well, you got it. So we're going to be filming like soon. But we ended up filming in Brooklyn, like Flatbush area, and it was pretty awesome. The premise of that one is, this one is a little kind of spiritual too. More spiritual than horror, I would say. This one is called The Reading, and it's about a woman whose child gets sick, and she kind of accidentally goes with her friend to see like a clairvoyant, a reader, and the woman wants to read her instead of her friend. So she tells her that her son is sick because he's paying for the sins of his father, who's her husband. So that's where that story kind of
little plot twist almost on like
right. So that one got picked up by like 3 or 4 film festivals over the summer, and that one was the one that won a couple awards. We won best film in one of the film festivals. And the biggest thing that happened with that one is that we got picked up by Amazon Prime. So it's actually on Amazon Prime right now.
It is right now?
Okay, we already know what we're going to do after.
It's called The Reading, and it's on Amazon Prime. So,
I'm so proud of you. She said, and that was just amazing. Like, if you want to get it.
It's on Amazon. When it gets to your roles, how do you go about searching for them? Like, I know, you might have things that you care about, and then you voluntarily go and audition for, and then it might be things that's shot to you, and it's like, oh, this would be like perfect for you. It's like, how does it work for you?
So I still consider myself green, even though I've been kind of doing this on and off for like a very long time. So I still like go out and I'm looking for breakdowns. I'm looking for casting notices and directors. I'm a part of a couple of websites, legit websites that post breakdowns all the time. So I submit to things that like interest me, that I feel like I could get behind. And then when I actually get an audition or I get like a role or something like that, I have to make sure that like I'm able to read the script and like I'm identifying with what's happening and like I'm good with it, because I don't just take anything that comes my way. Like if it doesn't feel right, I'll just be like, no, thank you, no, I appreciate it, but I'll pass on this. But I definitely am still grinding to get my jobs. But I have to say that some of the stuff that I've been in have been because I've had a network, or those people have seen me in other things, and they liked my work, and they wanted to see if they could incorporate me in what they were doing.
It's like you got the track record from previous things.
Right. Or like I mentioned, I went to William Esper Studio, which is like a kind of acting studio in the city. And so when you're around like-minded people, and this is kind of with anything, like if you're around like-minded people that are interested in doing what you're doing, not only does that open up the door for opportunity and networking, but it also allows you to see different facets of the business, or to meet people that have connections elsewhere. So definitely with this place, I made a good network there, and was able to get into that one because of my class, and someone seeing my work in class. I'm sorry, my dog.
Sorry, what kind of dog do you have?
She's a Shorkie. She's over here in her hoodie barking because she thinks she's protecting me. That's small.
Hears different voices and it's like, yo, wait, hold on.
Hi, hello, my mom is there.
Who's messing with mommy? I'm about to knock him out. But I mean, I think that what you have is awesome to offer to, I guess I know that you're not old. I was making fun earlier, but to a future generation of people, of staying true to yourself and your goals, because you want to do something that is meaningful to you, right? Like you don't want to just pick up every script.
Right.
Because it's there, So would you give any advice? Like what would be your all in all, tell all advice to people that's trying to do it? I mean, I know that you're still out right now. You consider yourself green, but we don't consider you green. I feel like you've been doing this for a very, very long time. And, especially with also maintaining everything, So what would be your advice for anyone in general that's trying to grind or get into that market?
You gotta love what you're doing. Because that's the only thing that's going to keep the momentum going and going to keep you positive when things are not looking up, so you got to really enjoy it. To instant gratification is not a real thing here. Like things don't just happen like that. And I know that, a lot of I would say at least our younger generations, they have access to so many things, so much information, so many people, which is amazing because they have their own strengths that I would say that I don't have. However, at least I can say because I see my siblings, they have this need for instant gratification. And I just have to tell them that, like, be patient because what's for you is for you and it will come. And when you're thinking about instant gratification, you want to compete, right? So there are people around you who would do anything to get to where you want to get to as well. And that is not sustainable. Somebody asked me, like, how do I deal with the competition in the industry? And some people that will like do anything, sleep with people, go over their morals and just do whatever. And I'm just like, what's for them is for them, what's for me is for me. But I'm in it for the long game. And I feel like when you're in it for the long game, you're learning, you're growing, and your talent is gonna far exceed anything that people can do just to try to get in somewhere. So just be ready to grind, keep doing little things toward it every single day. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but just keep the momentum going.
Streaming eventually is probably gonna go that way anyway at some point. But I think this kind of just fast forward that process. And I guess maybe movies like that would get picked up a lot more, and then of course there'll be competition because then everybody will be trying to get into Amazon and the Netflix. Do you think that it is gonna definitely probably be eventually where we'll be going to movie theaters less, and then we'll be looking, discovering actors like you and films and everything based off of sitting at home and clicking the remote, as opposed to just running out to the theaters like we used to.
I definitely think that streaming it has been already, but it's continuing to move in a like positive trajectory. It's becoming this huge thing. And I don't know if people remember, but Netflix was like videotapes that they used to like mail to you. Yeah. And they had the streaming service. So you could have one or the other or both. And as y'all can already see that they ended, the videotape, like Blockbuster, they ended the videotape rentals and they just kind of went straight to streaming. But I don't know if you guys also noticed, but like a lot of networks are now having, they now have their own streaming platform. So like Disney Plus and like different things. This Discovery, I think, also has their own streaming platform, HBO. So definitely it's in the market to continue expanding. I don't know if right now we're just going to completely stop to going to movie theaters, because I think there's something to be said about connection and being in person and feeling things happening in front of you as opposed to like over a screen, or being able to share something with people outside of your home. So I'm not saying that will go away right now, but streaming, I agree, has definitely hey.
She's like, no.
Yeah, she agrees,
no. She's like, yes, I want to go to the theater. The theater, darling.
The concession stands and the smell of the popcorn.
Hold on. So I would say that streaming has definitely broadened the landscape and given much more access to people who may not have had access physically based on maybe their location, but also with networking and who they know and who they don't know, because now like streaming platforms, they need content, right? So they're looking to people who already have content that they can use to have content on their platform. So they're looking at people all over the world who have things that have gotten picked up. Maybe they're shopping at film festivals. Maybe they have submissions open for people to submit their stuff, and that is opening the playing field for a lot of different kinds of people. So I think that's awesome about streaming. I also did a series a few years ago that also got picked up by Amazon Prime. She shopped it a couple places, and Amazon Prime picked it up. And they asked her to kind of do a little editing of a few things so that it fit their like aesthetic of what they wanted. But ultimately, they have it on there as well. So I know people that have gotten their stuff picked up that maybe would have had a more difficult time had streaming not been a thing right now.
I almost see probably eventually maybe note that the theaters wouldn't completely go away because it's such a dope experience.
Right.
Not for every film.
Right.
But that might be the thing. It might be open to certain films, like certain attractions might be like, you have to go and see this in the theaters. It's here for such and such time. Right. Because after a while, when you look at, maybe how people are consuming everything on their phones, tablets, laptops, and TV. So it's like, but every now and then that film comes out when we all say it's like, oh, I got to go and see that. You don't want to just watch it at home because you like the graphics and the way everything.
Right.
It's going to look crazy. The action is going to look better on the big screen. It's like, you can't watch it at home.
Or so the sound, yeah.
Yeah, I think that maybe it's going to be somewhat in between that. You're probably not going to see every single film coming to the big screen. You're probably just going to see certain studios and certain films with certain budgets. But I think that might have to go that way just because we don't know what's going on with the climate of everything with the pandemic. But we'll find a way, one way or the other. I think, we always, especially creators, we always find a way to capitalize on those things like you were already doing. So,
but as you said so perfectly, I think also it's not the aspect of the film only, because I think some films you leave and say, oh, I could have watched that at home. But at the end of the day, it's the community. Even if you could watch it at home, it's that bonding together and having those relationships. Like, I can't wait to go back to Broadway. I don't know what Broadway's going to look like next year or a year from now, But that's the first thing I want to do. One of my quote unquote quick bucket list, because I mean, I guess we got spoiled with the arts in the city that we know we had that accessibility. If you can't afford to go, you can go to TKTS and get 50% of tickets.
Right.
You have a family friend or a friend of a friend that has tickets.
Or a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So we fell in love with those things. And now it's like, oh, I need that.
You'll get back to it. It's just, in under what capacity,
Right. Well, although we can't see you in person, I like to ask a few questions anyway that are rapid fire questions.
Yeah, boy! Bass! Once again, back is the incredible.
So, yes, I would ask the first question is 5 years from now, where do you want to be?
I want to be able to sustain my life as a working actress and a creative without having to have a 9-to-5 to supplement my income.
Perfect answer. What was your favorite childhood game?
I had the Connect 4, the little one. Yeah, I used to play with my mom, so that's my favorite game.
What happened to, did we have a Connect 4 yet?
I think we were going to get it, but we didn't get it.
Because, our daughter, we trying to get her to play with those types of games, because everything's all digital. And we're like, you don't know about Mousetrap and Uno and Connect for all. She's like,
she wants a game. Well, that was my second favorite. I had a Super Nintendo that I still have to this day.
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day. I was like, you don't know anything until you have a Super Nintendo and have to blow inside the cartridge.
Right, the cartridge. I have to blow in the cartridge.
Rub it with the alcohol. Although on the back it says, "Please don't use alcohol."
Right, that's the only thing that cleans it. Hello.
Everybody was like, "That's how I clean everything else." It's like it works.
Yeah, I know. What's your favorite type of music?
Soca.
She's a soca baby.
Yes, all day, every day. Okay.
What's your favorite soca song?
I like. I this is gonna be a non-popular opinion, but I miss Palancing.
Yes, that's not unpopular. Palancing. I mean,
but they also hate it. They hate it too.
I'm always like, Palance this way. We dance to that at least once or twice.
Yeah, y'all do that.
Listen,
y'all can give me a Masha anything or Destra, somebody. I'm all with it.
Good. I love it.
Good to know. Next time when we all get together, whenever that is, we can play that.
I have no behavior when soca plays.
Oh, when she said no behavior,
no problem.
So, but it was great seeing you, my dear. Hopefully we can see you soon. We'll play soca when you're coming in.
Yeah, word.
And give everyone their rock. We rock.
We gonna have that time soon, somehow, some way. Again, thank you for being a part. Hopefully this isn't anywhere near the last time. Hope you could come on a couple more times. So be a face that the people can get used to.
Yeah, who knows? By next season, maybe she'll be a director because she's doing so much. I don't know. Let's see what will happen next.
True.
You never know. But thank you, hon. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Love.
Bye.